Hi, welcome back to our homestead. It's a day in the life and I feel like a squirrel because I have so many things that I want to do and if I stop, I'm probably gonna drop. So, I have a long list of things to do. I have a few things to show you. I want to just show you the things that I want to accomplish and we'll see what I can do. I'll tell you a secret. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning, insomnia. So I just got up and one of these times I'm gonna crash. So I'm gonna try to get as many things done before I crash and burn. So one of the things I wanted to show you that Adam has done this week, actually Andrew started it and Adam finished it, is he installed this pipe, this line that goes down, down, down into the basement where it ties into our water lines and then it comes up, up, up. Does it sound like a first grade reader? Up here, arches, and then it goes down where I can just flip the nozzle, which is right here, and I can fill the Berkey. So that makes it so much easier rather than hauling water because this thing holds 5 gallons. This is like the Berkey King or Crown or something like that. It's pretty big. One of the things that I want to accomplish today is this blank space on the wall. I want to hang a clock, and so in order to do that, I need to put the hands on the clock, install the gears, and that'll be pretty easy. Picked it up at a thrift store for like $5. Had to get the gears and the hands because they had certain calamity that occurred with them, but still for like $12 to $15, I have a big clock. This other wall behind me, I'd like to install these insulators. I have a cross tie from the Telegraph poles that I hope to install today, and then I'll get these off my counter. What else am I gonna do? I have 2 pillows that I need to sew for my sofas that I've had on the back burner for a long time. I've just had them sitting here ready to go, and I am going to get out my sewing machine and whip those out. We are doing laundry. Adam is cleaning out his car, doing some, oh, we have shelves to hang in the bathroom, something simple. We have the mantle to hang on over the wood stove, and just a lot of small things. Keeping the laundry going is going to be one thing that I have to pay attention to because I have to hang everything on the line, so catch the sunny day while you can. And I will keep you involved with this day as it goes on. I have a whole list that has about 15 items on it that I'm hoping to get all knocked off today. You know how that goes. So we'll see what we can do, but I'm trying to implement the system where you can do anything for 5 minutes or you can do anything for an hour, like in the garden. I thought, well, you know, I can probably go out there for an hour. I don't have to spend all day long, but I can start systematically doing things. So when I have my garden hour, I'm probably gonna have to prune my blackberries because they've been sadly neglected until now, and it's kind of late for pruning, but I need to do it because it's a jungle out there. Let's go and see what this day holds. I find that the hardest things are the small things. The big things are hard too, but the small things we just overlook. So I have this corner behind me up to the baker's rack. We're still in construction, so obviously nothing is ever perfect. We always have tools and paint and construction lights and stuff like that around, but I'm trying to get things in their place and at least find a place for things. So my first goal today, after I sew my pillows, is to get this area just cleaned up. It's the pillows that are gonna go in the forms, Q-tips, paint, work lights, just a few random things that are just kind of like in the way. They don't have a good place because we're still finding places for everything. And I would like to clear off this baker's rack. I usually like to put my cookbooks on it, but because I haven't found them yet, I just have a few. I just need to clear this surface, and then I have another Dutch oven that goes down here with this first one, and the crock pot will stay. So this is not a big deal. I feel like if I can get this accomplished, I will feel like I've done something. So it's the small things. Do something small and then check it off your list, and then you'll feel like you're making progress. That's my plan. Next project on the list is the cross ties from the telegraph poles. A few years ago when we were out in California, my husband was working along the railroads. During that time, we had the privilege of collecting many antique insulators, and they come in such beautiful colors. We also ran across a couple of the cross ties from the telegraph poles. These are antiques. They are, from what I understand, made from redwoods, and so they are a neat piece of history that we wanted to include in our house. Unfortunately, we had a hard time figuring out exactly where they were going to fit. This is a day where I am trying to catch up on a few projects that I've been meaning to do for a long time. So I have fixed a few of the things that were broken. These little bears that the boys painted when they were at Wilderness Wildlife Week a few years ago, or many years ago, probably 10 years ago. One of them had gotten broken in the move, and so I used the super glue to fix it, and I'm just going to use a Sharpie to fill in the places. This one was stuck to the shelf in our pantry from polyurethane that hadn't been completely cured when I put it on there, and it was stuck, so we had to pry that off, but thankfully it made it, and I just have to dust him. So I made this little candle holder out of a light globe that goes on a ceiling fan, and this silver candlestick that I found at the thrift store. So I used the JB weld on that, and I'm just waiting for that to cure. And I had another casualty of our move. It was the base for my little teapot. This has a little teapot that goes on it, and I don't know that this will be usable for tea anymore, but it was a really cute teapot that I wanted to fix and get on my shelf. Those little things that had been bothering me, that I hadn't been getting them done, they're just in the back of my mind, thinking it would take 5 minutes to do all of this, and that's about how much it took, 5 or 10 minutes. The next thing, I have 2 of these, and it's very dusty because I just pulled it off the shelf. I have 2 of these candle things that I picked up at a thrift store, and at first I was like, okay, let me just put them on the shelf, but I realized that there's like a base that's supposed to have a floral arrangement, and I'm really not that much of a flower arrangement kind of person, and so I thought I might go to the Dollar Tree and pick up some of that floral foam, but I just didn't want to have fake looking flowers, and so I'm kind of in the middle. I might go to Hobby Lobby and pick up some more expensive flowers, but they look real. And so it may be a combination of the two, but I found a cool picture where they were taking just piece twigs and rustic things, mixing them with the flowers. And so before I do anything else and go spend a lot of money, I'm gonna try to see what we have around our house and around the homestead and see what I can come up with. Remember those dusty candles? Let's see what I did with them. If you look above me, you can barely see them up on my shelf, but I ended up not really doing much with them. Basically just putting them down in the ivy, and I know that probably is a late 90s trend, but guess what? I grew up in the 90s. I was a teenager in the 90s. I still like that look. And so the other one is above me with the wonky lights going crazy. That looks cute. And then I have another one. These flowers need to go. I have another one that goes on this shelf. And I made tea in it the other day, which is why it's not up on the shelf. But let's put it back. There we go. There. Perfect. We finally decided to go ahead with hardwood floor for the sun porch. We already had some leftover hardwood, and so here's Adam going ahead and putting that down, and then he ran out, so now we're at a standstill until they get more in stock. Here's the inspector. What are you inspecting today? What are you inspecting? Do you approve? Apparently you like that, don't you? I took a second to hang up the curtain in our bathroom. I went with no curtain rods and instead put the coat hooks on so that I could do this linen curtain, which I cut in half so that it would be the right width. And then I'm just crisscrossing it to make it look the way that it does. It's kind of a semi-sheer, and I just like this country look. It seems simple, it's my style, and this is also what I'm going to do in our bedroom. For the tiebacks, I used just a very simple, ordinary twine, tied it back, looped it, and that was that. Okay, I realized that I had not followed up that day to tell you what I did. What did I do? I did get the pillows finished. I got two nice firm pillows that I sewed from scratch, and then from the rest of the fabric that I told you in a different video that I had kind of botched when I got the fabric, I got two more. I got this small one, and I got another one over on our other sofa that I made. And yes, we still have a construction zone, but it's a work in progress. So I was really happy to be able to get these stuffed really well. I kind of upcycled some other pillows, and these pillows that I had picked up from a secondhand store were kind of floppy, and so I took some of the stuffing out of different pillows and I firmed these up a lot, and so they're a lot better. And so I have a sofa full of pillows on both of our sofas, and so that's a good thing. Also, Adam was able to get the mantle hung up around the wood stove, and we haven't really done much decorating on it, but it is finished. It's just very simple. It's not walnut. The trim is walnut, and this is stained to match it. It's actually, I don't know if it's pine or oak. It's gonna be great. So basically we have the wood stove area finished except for the trim around the windows. Now we're on to this big clock that I found at the thrift store. Unfortunately, the hands and the gears that I got are so flimsy, I'm not sure if they're gonna work. Seriously, guys, this is how they were as soon as I took them out of the package. Bent up and extremely thin. I did manage to finagle them into a working mechanism as long as nobody touches them. We're hoping it's gonna last as long as it's on the wall. What about the clock? As you can see, it is up behind me, and it looks kind of small because it's way out on that wall, but it is about 2.5 feet wide. So it's a nice big clock for that wall. I did have to fiddle with the hands a lot because at first they were just like turning around and around. So I hope it's gonna last. As long as nobody touches it, it'll probably be fine. We did hang up the insulator thing behind me, and I liked it, but I hung it kind of tall, and so we have decided to move it to another wall, and so I'm gonna have to check back on that. We also were able to get the shelf hung up in the bathroom, and it's looking really good. We stained that in special walnut, and I think the color looks just fine compared to the cedar. I was able to hang up this tile project that we made with the Pathfinders one year, and even I was able to hang up the curtains in my bathroom and get it situated a little bit. We use this this flashlight because the lighting that we have for the shower is attached to the fan, and Greg doesn't really like to have the fan going, but it's a little bit by little bit. This is an oil lantern that my brother got me for Christmas, which I really love. I still need to put some oil in it. But it's coming together. The things are looking better all the time. One thing at a time is what we have to keep reminding ourselves. I told you at the beginning that I wanted to get this baker's rack area and all the area in front of it just cleaned out and cleared. Well, I was able to do that. It's not perfect, it's not fancy, and it's not decorated, but it is cleared, and I do have a walking zone in front of the baker's rack. Up the steps into the loft is where we decided to put both of those Telegraph poles for the insulators. And because we were waiting for approval from every person in the family, we just have these attached lightly with 2 screws, and so they are not up there correctly yet. So I have not put the insulators on yet. I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get that done because I know it's gonna look really good. I have some of the insulators here, and so we will be checking back on that when it's done. Stay tuned. here's how it turned out. It's really hard to see because of the light right now, but we have all the colors and we have the 2 cross ties, and it's really hard to see the other high voltage sign, but it's there. That one just happens to be really old, and we were calculating, trying to guesstimate how old these insulators and cross ties are, and we just don't know. Well over 100 years, but possibly even older. We did end up having like 7 insulators left over, or 9, including the ones that we put in the bathroom. So for now, they're just sitting up on the mantle. And then we have the ones over here, these 3, and I have one being used as a bookend and a couple in our bathroom. They'll probably be set around the house at some point, but for now they can just hang out here. There you have it, guys, in all its glory. What do you think? This is one of those projects that we started on one day and we had to carry over to the next day because of time and people being available to hang it, but I'm glad that we got it done. It is a cool piece of history on our walls as a testament to all the times when the telegraphs were operating and the railroads were a functional part of our society. So thank you for sticking around to the end. We are kind of in a subscription push right now, so we are still a small channel, but as of today we have almost reached 400, and for us that's pretty neat. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. It doesn't cost you anything, and it just kind of helps build our channel. Thank you for joining us today at Ridgehaven Homestead, and I hope you come back. Have a blessed day.